it's Serene here at Serene Vocal Studio. Welcome to my channel. I'm back again, jiggity jig. We're gonna continue talking about auditioning and the audition process and some of the auditions that I have experienced in the last year and a half. Okay, so last time we talked about my auditions that I've experienced since 2020, starting with Guys and Dolls, Les Miserables, and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And that's how far I got, because that's how long-winded I can be. There was a lot that went into it, not only preparation, but also the experience of preparing, filming, and then callbacks, and then dealing with the emotions of the results. So the next audition that I did, 3 in July of 2021, the Chitty Chitty audition, and then Sweeney Todd and Christmas Carol. I decided kind of last minute to audition for Sweeney Todd. I had been preparing for the Christmas Carol audition. I worked with my acting coach, and then I started working with a vocal coach. I think after Christmas Carol is when I started actually working with her. I needed somebody who knew more than me in the areas where I was like, I could grow and I need to grow. So I was doing the Christmas Carol audition, and then I realized there's Sweeney Todd. Should I just throw it out there, throw it in a basket? It was for another theater, as a community theater, and I thought I might have a better audition or a better chance of getting in to this show. And I thought, I don't know if I really want to. I went back and forth quite a bit, but in the end, I did decide to audition for Sweeney Todd. And even after I got called back for Sweeney Todd, spoiler alert, I'm sorry, I got called back for Sweeney Todd, I still wasn't like, I'm so excited about this, because I'd never seen Sweeney Todd. I've heard some of the music, I'd studied some of it in college, but not most of it. So it was very unfamiliar to me going in, but I thought, you know what, if nothing else, it's gonna give me more experience in A, auditioning, and B, if I get in, to get to do a show again and experience that. I think I will enjoy probably the people I get to work with, because they're in the arts, and art people are super fun. Like, just saying that. Theater people are the bomb. Okay, so let's do Christmas Carol audition first. We're actually gonna, even though it was the same song that I used 2 different cuts of my filming. This filming didn't take too long because I didn't actually care that much about it. That's probably how I need to do most of my auditions. The first 3 are very like, this has to be right. But I had to let go of some of that A, time, and B, control, just to get it done. So this one was a faster audition taping process. I prepared really well for my Christmas Carol audition. And actually, after I filmed my Christmas Carol audition, I sent it to my acting coach, and she gave me a list of tips. She's like, okay, work on this, fix this, change this, do this. And then I refilmed it because it was worth it for me. Christmas Carol. I really cared about Christmas Carol. I really wanted to get into this show. And I honestly thought that I was like, I can totally get into this show. No problemo. Okay, here we go. Christmas Carol.
Hi, my name is Serene Parker. Longing to tell you, but afraid and shy, I'd let my golden chances pass me by. Soon you'd leave me, or if you would go in the mist of day. Never, never to know how I loved you. If I loved you.
Okay, so this song I was actually very comfortable with. I love this song. It sounds great in my voice. I picked the cut of this song that was vocally the most perfect and emotional enough, but vocally really well done that I could. I liked the lighting. I liked how I did it. The filming didn't take that long. I decided to just wear plain black. I'm like, I just got to get it done. Let's look at the monologues at the very end, because this is the part that I really had to get into character and reminded me of what I had to go through in my brain when I did Guys and Dolls.
Our promise was an old one. made when we were poor and content to be so. We promised to share whatever life brought us, together, to work together.
Now that line obviously is a little bit more, we are just bearing our souls to one another. And, you know, it was fine. It wasn't anything like monumental, but I felt like I delivered it in a way that was like sincere and honest and to the point, really. I liked it. It was simplistic.
What odds? What odds, Mrs. Dilber? Every person has a right to take care of himself. He always did. Open me bundle, Joe. Let me know the value of it. I ain't afraid to go first.
I loved my Cockney. It was so fun. I was trying to get really gritty and just like into the moment with this more gritty character. I loved it. You know how many times I watched that clip? So many times, just because I just was loving it. I just was. But I definitely had to get in that very whimsical frame of mind to say this monologue. Yeah, it was fun to do the difference between more of a Cockney and more of a traditional English. And I did a lot of study in that and trying to really make it very distinguished from each other. The cool thing about Christmas Carol, so I didn't get a call back for Christmas Carol, and I didn't hear anything back, actually. It was a little bit heartbreaking because I was like, I can totally get into Christmas Carol. Yeah, if anything, I can get into a Christmas Carol. And I didn't. And that was a disappointment. But one of my friends got into A Christmas Carol, and it was her first show with Hale Center Theater, and I was so excited for her. Okay, the funny thing is, so in my previous video, if you didn't go watch that, I will link it somewhere. I'll link it somewhere so you can click on it and go check it out. But I analyzed my Chitty Chitty Bang Bang audition. Now, I did end up going to see Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and of course, I loved it because I love Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I grew up on the movie. I'd never actually seen the show. And the funny thing was, I kind of, like, while it was the most magical show, it was wonderful. There's so many good things about it. My favoriteest characters were the ones that were the most funny. My friend was in it, and she played, oh gosh, what are their names? They're like the two characters who are like the spies. She played one of the spies, and she was so funny. And I loved her so much. And then I also loved the Baron and the Baroness. They were to die for. But truly scrumptious. I feel like in the show, her character did not have like very much importance. Like the show could go on without her, even if they just like erased her. Which is kind of sad because in the movie, I felt like she had a really important role in some of the things that had happened. And I'm like, what got lost in translation with that show? I don't know. I went to see it in this last December, and I really loved Chitty. I just loved it. It was so funny. It was a blast. They made a car fly. It was very exciting. So I just had to say that. But I didn't see A Christmas Carol, and I was like, oh, I didn't actually see it. But I'm sure it was great. A lot of people I know go to see it as a Christmas tradition. So, okay. So here's the cut that I did for Sweeney Todd. This one is the same song, but it's a little bit more characterized for Sweeney Todd. I picked a different clip.
If I loved you, words wouldn't come in an easy way. Round in circles I'd go.
Here at the end on no, I hit the no harder. In A Christmas Carol, I hit it a little bit more gently and had more of a crescendo. In this one, I just went no, like just let it go. Let me go back just a little bit so you can hear. Lots of vibrato. the reason why I did not use the same cut for A Christmas Carol is because of this part right here on how it got a little bit shaky and it kind of drove me nuts, but I thought, I'll just go for it with Sweeney Todd. We'll see. So you was good, I was a little shaky. So the ending was great. I just got very, very nitty gritty picky on how I was a little shaky on how I sang it. And I was worried that that would stick out and they'd be like, throw it in the trash. This was probably, now that I'm looking at it, a long time later, it probably was a decent cut and I probably could have used it for A Christmas Carol. I don't think this cut would have changed the outcome of my audition for Christmas Carol. I just don't think it would, because I think they were looking for either a specific look, a specific sound, maybe even people they had worked with before, because this director, he directs A Christmas Carol every year at this theater, and he doesn't know me. This is the first time he'd ever seen me. So I think a lot of times they will cast new people, but often if you're brand new, if you're not what they're looking for initially, then you're not going to get cast, and that's fine. Fast forward with Sweeney Todd, I actually got a call back for Sweeney Todd, and I kind of was like, okay, I'll go to it. I wasn't super excited about it because I'm like, it was Sweeney Todd. I'd never done any Sondheim before. I'd heard, like, I knew Into the Woods, but I was unfamiliar with Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd was like, I don't even know, like, I kind of know what it's about, sort of. I know it's creepy. I know the music is, like, I looked at the callback music. I'm like, this is tricky. They're probably looking for a pretty strong vocal cast. And I have a lot of, like, really strong things vocally on my list or on my resume. And, you know, I was like, okay, I'll go. And I went, I was kind of like, well, we'll see. But I wasn't expecting anything just because I had been told no 3 other times. However many times before this, I'd kept getting told no. And I was like, okay, whatever. I had to go in neutral so I wouldn't get my heart broken too deeply. But I felt like the callback went well for Sweeney Todd and I got cast in Sweeney Todd. What? For something. It made me so happy. This was a community theater, so it was a volunteer kind of situation, which was great. And I was excited that I got cast. I was also like, okay, all right. I feel like I do have the chops that I think I have, but also I'm glad that they could see my chops, and that was exciting to me. But like my first rehearsal of Sweeney Todd, there was a bunch of people there. I didn't know anybody. No one. I knew no one there. Was going in as like somebody who's like, hey, total imposter. I don't know you people. But it ended up being this huge blessing in my life. I've never been in a cast where the cast loved each other so much and so deeply and supported each other so much. Not only was the cast fantastic to work with, they were amazing off stage. They were so talented on stage. We had a fantastic director. I just love her face so much. Colleen, if you're watching, I love you so much. She was incredible. Our music director was great. We had a lot of hard music to learn and we did it. And I met one of my best friends and I love her so much. Brooke, I love you. And Sweeney Todd changed my life. Like, it really did. And in such a good way that I went in so neutral and so like, I could get in, probably, but I don't expect it. And I don't really care if I don't get in. Like, it hurt more for me to not get cast in A Christmas Carol. And then when I got cast in Sweeney Todd, I was excited, but I was also devastated I didn't get cast in A Christmas Carol. So there was like a lot of highs and lows happening at the exact same time. So I did Sweeney Todd in October. That's when we ran through like the Halloween season, and it was incredible. But during Sweeney Todd, all of that, I was dancing with my like I was doing private dance lessons, and then I also was taking my voice lessons and getting better. And I started going to the gym with a trainer and a group, and we have been training. I train at the gym at like 5:30 in the morning. Sweeney Todd was this trajectory of me really changing where I was at, not only physically, but emotionally, talent-wise, and trying to up-level myself in a way that other directors could see. And I put my whole heart and soul into Sweeney Todd. It was so good. If you love Sondheim, give this video a thumbs up. If you love Sweeney Todd, please give a comment below. If you've ever done Sweeney Todd or a Sondheim musical, please, we are in this together with his music. It's so dissonant, so difficult, and so wonderful all at the same time. I had done a choir. Oh, my choir music's over there. But I had done a choir with some very challenging music before I started auditioning again. And I did that for a few years. And they disbanded the choir at the beginning of 2020 because he got a job out east in Kansas. And it was an incredible job offer for him. I learned so much from him in the short time I got to work with him. It was like 2.5 years. He would throw so much hard music at us, very dissonant, very difficult. He would also throw fun and easy stuff, some easy stuff, but a lot of very challenging music. But what I did in that choir really prepared me for Sweeney Todd. But Sweeney Todd was this whole other beast that I was like, whoa, this is so crazy. We're going to watch my Bright Star audition. Here we go, Bright Star.
I ain't asked for much in this life I've been living. It still makes me shiver and chill to the bone. Morning light, shine on me, shine. There's an ember of heat in this cold heart of mine. Shine on me, shine on me, shine. There's a diamond of hope in this good heart of mine.
So my voice teacher and I helped me come up with this audition cut. Like they said, you could use their audition music or you could do your own. And I did my own because I wanted to. And I loved it. I'd never done this style before. And at this point, I had been working with my voice teacher for, I don't know, a hot minute. Not too long, but long enough that I had my feet under me a little bit. And she was helping me discover new things about my voice. And especially this song, Shine from Spitfire Grill, really pushed me in a way that I was like super excited to learn and I was brand new with. But I really loved what I did with my voice here in Spitfire Grill. It was a little bit more twangy, had a little bit of country and a little bit more, just more super bright vowels, super open, super bright. Okay, let's look at the monologues because these were a blast.
Now that's a sight. The mayor's son with his sleeves rolled up, repairing an icebox. Jimmy Ray, an icebox has no moving parts. My granny could repair an icebox. There's ice and a box. I think you just want to show off your muscles. You remind me of Adonis. You know who Adonis is. He's a Greek god. In fact, you remind me of the myth of Adonis when he repaired an icebox.
I really connected with this character and I really loved her bubbliness, her sense of ironicness, and her just like flirtatiousness with also being very like, well, kind of sarcastic at the same time. I had such a fun time. Now the theater that I sent this to, They had never seen me before, and I was going outside of my comfort zone a little bit because my comfort zone had been in this one theater I've been trying to get into, and I broke out and did Sweeney Todd at this other theater, and now I was adding another theater. It was really great, and I had some great coaching for this audition. And while I had some great coaching, I also didn't allow myself to take too many takes of my vocals as well as my acting. My acting, I allowed quite a bit of takes, more than my singing, because I wanted to get the monologue right. And I wanted to get the emotions right and the undertone of why she was saying what she was saying and the motivation. I did not get a call back for this. I was told, I knew the person who is the dance choreographer for this show, and she said they were going to call back 200 people, and I was on that first list to call back, but then the directors wanted to cut it down by half, and I got cut in that half list. And I was told it wasn't really based on talent. It was more just like there was way too many people and they just needed to narrow it down. So it was just more of luck than anything else, or not luck, that I didn't get a call back for that. I think I would have had a pretty good chance if I would have gotten a call back, but I still don't know if I would have been cast because this is a new theater. It's kind of a bigger theater in the area and they didn't know me. So, and that's okay. I'm all right with that. The no for Bright Star didn't hurt as much as some of the others because I had learned to work on keeping my emotions, not keeping them in check, but also just understanding that the process is a learning process. And I learned so much from this audition. I say that every time, but really every audition you do, you learn so much. And I learned a ridiculous amount with this audition. Everything before that had been like jumping me forward, and this one was leap forward in terms of how I understood my talent and how the other auditions had prepared me for this one. And also I was able to take direction from my acting coach and my vocal coach more easily because of my past experiences and because of where I was at right then. So it was a great audition. I loved it. Didn't get a call back, didn't get a casting, and that was fine. I was actually kind of relieved because I didn't feel super excited about the show, but I really loved what I prepared for. And I felt like if I was meant to be in it, I would get into it and I would probably enjoy it at that point. But like Sweeney Todd, I stayed kind of neutral because I felt like that worked really well for me with Sweeney Todd, and it would hurt less if I got told no. How many times can you have your heart ripped open in a year, you know? That's all of the analyzation that I'm going to do today for my auditions because this has been a process. And as I think about how I prepared and analyzing what I actually came up with and the results of all of that, it's just kind of a long process. So hopefully you're enjoying it. Let me know in the comments below. Give this video a like and let me know that you're here and that you care. And if you don't care, just get out. Just kidding. I may have gotten a little bit more sarcastic and a little bit more not taking any BS from anybody, specifically from Sweeney Todd. No BS here. Have a great week, you guys. I'll talk to you next time. Peace.